Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is something that a lot of us deal with, including me, and it's property taxes. They are, without a doubt, a significant burden for many of us Americans. And recent studies have highlighted how they are just squeezing homeowners and even renters and entire communities. Property taxes have been climbing fast, and these increases are eating up a disproportionate share of our income, making homeownership or even renting less affordable. Property taxes are regressive, hitting owners of even lower value homes even harder. Nationwide, homes in the bottom 10% of value pay effective tax rates over twice as high as those in the top 10%. And this setup effectively has low-income homeowners subsidizing wealthier ones. Now, as property values rise in gentrifying neighborhoods, so do tax bills, which can force out long-term residents. In Chicago, for example, some neighborhoods saw home prices jump up 146% since 2012, far outpacing the city's 105% average. This drives up property taxes, pricing out modest income households who can't keep up. Even if they've owned their homes for decades, gentrification amplifies this, as wealthier newcomers push up values, making it harder for existing residents to stay in their homes.
If we pay off our houses, why do we still have to keep paying property taxes? Can someone in government please explain that to me? Like, what exactly do we get for the property tax money? I mean, other than getting to stay in our house that we've paid off and supposedly own. Like, if I didn't pay that property tax, you'd take the property. So, in essence, I don't really own it? Like, who in the hell in government came up with property tax? Who thought that would be a good idea? I'm never going to own my house. The government still has their fingers in the pot. And your pot, too. And everybody's pot. All right, rant over. But can someone explain property taxes to me? I don't fucking get it.
Soaring property taxes are making homeownership a tougher dream for many. A 2024 report notes that higher taxes deter prospective buyers, reducing demand and potentially stagnating local housing markets. For current homeowners, rising taxes add to financial strain, especially for those already stretched by mortgages or inflation. And renters aren't spared either. Landlords often pass tax increases onto their tenants, raising rents and squeezing budgets even further. And some will argue that the root issue is unchecked by local government spending. A 2024 analysis from the Foundation for Government Accountability claims that local budgets have ballooned, with property tax revenue jumping 141% from 2001 to 2021 to over $600 billion. They point to wasteful spending on things like DEI programs or lavish projects as the culprit, not necessity. And this leaves homeowners footing the bill for priorities that they might not support.
All right, Stark County, Ohio, thank you very much. You increased my property taxes 83% in 1 year, from $27.97 to $5,117 per year. That's an 83% increase overnight. And how in the hell can I own a property for 18 years and then all of a sudden you raise the property taxes 83%? I'm waiting on a call back, but I want to know how many people have seen this kind of increase in their property taxes when there was no purchase. I know real estate's been appraising higher. The price of housing has gone up, so the taxes go along with it. But when you've owned the property for 18 years, you pay your taxes, Did the schools get 83% better? Did the roads get 83% better? Did anything get 83% better? The only thing that got 83% better or worse is my checking account. I am sick and tired of the government there's no limit to the greed. Get a hold of a mortgage engineer. Let me know what the hell's going on, people.
So there's something called property tax assessment regressivity, or PTAR, where expensive homes are systematically undervalued or undertaxed. And then you have the cheaper homes are overvalued and then they're overtaxed. This isn't just unfair, it's baked into the system and it distorts housing markets. Fixing it could redistribute wealth more equitably among homeowners, but it's very tricky without broader reforms to avoid worsening housing shortages.
So you're telling me that if I buy a house 30 years ago at $50,000, but the city develops really well and now the value of my house is at $2 million, you're telling me that I have to now pay taxes on $2 million, even though I have never seen a dime of that $2 million? I have not sold my house. This is not an investment property. This is where I live and I chose to live and I hoped to live for the rest of my life. But now you're telling me that I either have to sell my house or lose my house because I can't afford to pay taxes. And the taxes are probably more than what my mortgage was 30 years ago. You're telling me that if I give this house as an inheritance as a senior to my children and I pass away, they will either have to pay those property taxes for the rest of their lives or they risk losing the house that I have worked so hard for all this time. Property taxes is a scam. And I understand that it pays for education and it pays for teacher salaries. But I think we need to find another way because homeowners are losing their homes every single day. If you look in the tax lien website in your state, you're going to see how many people are losing their homes. They probably paid those homes off. They probably have paid the majority of their mortgage, but they can no longer afford to pay taxes. And their mortgages go up. And if they have already paid it, now they have to pay this for the rest of their life. Or they risk losing their home to some investor that is going to buy your house for whatever the tax amount was that you couldn't afford, but they can. We need to start fighting against property taxes. It needs to either be regulated to stop going up as much, or it needs to be stopped altogether. We're paying we're paying enough money for our education. Like, there is a leak somewhere. This is too much. If everybody here owns their home and you don't have enough money to pay for the teachers' salaries and the education, then there's something wrong in the government and we need to fix it.
In states like Colorado, as well as Montana, where property values have skyrocketed due to population influxes, tax bills are hitting very, very hard. Fixed income retirees and low income homeowners are especially vulnerable as taxes consume a big chunk of their budgets. States are trying relief measures, like Colorado's $200 million reimbursement to local governments for tax exemptions. But these are often short-term fixes that don't address long-term sustainability.
Top of the morning, gorgeous people. Y'all see this house behind me? The property tax bill when it just shot up over 80% this past weekend. I've been waiting for the bill. I knew it was coming down the pipeline, and I was just waiting to see what it was going to be. My property taxes shot up last year from $49.19 to $89.07. $49.19 to $89.07, y'all. That is a $332 a month increase in my mortgage just from property taxes. Insurance rates have been going up around here. I haven't seen the increase on that yet, but I know it's coming down the pipeline as well. The cheapest my mortgage has been here, I've been here 6 years. The cheapest my mortgage has ever been here was $1,005, which I know is a blessing. Most recently, in the past year and a half, my mortgage has been $1,120. And with now this new increase is soon going to rise to $1,452, which I know when a lot of people hear this, that is still a blessing. I'm understanding that a lot of people's mortgages are $2,000, $3,000, and $4,000. But when you go from $1,000 to $1,120 to $1,452, that's a massive increase. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be thinking, hey, do a homestead, or that's illegal. They can only raise it 2 or 3% in a year. Well, unfortunately, there are no statewide regulations on mill rates or property tax percentage increases per year in the state of Connecticut. These people can do whatever they want. I don't know how, but they are, and obviously they can, because they're raising my property taxes 81%. But what this reminds me most of is never get comfortable. You can never get comfortable. Even if you got a great job right now and you think you make great income right now, you never know 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, these bills are not going down. They're only going up. So you may be comfortable now, but if you get a $500 increase, a $600 increase in your mortgage, a $200 increase in your insurance rates on your home, it may not be so comfortable anymore. So always be looking for more. And I really feel bad for the people who live in this town, the elderly, the retired, the people on fixed income, because they're not going to be able to afford and I don't have a big house. I promise you, this is a starter home plus in this town. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home. There are plenty of people with 2,500, 3,000 square foot homes in this town. I promise you, this is a starter home. I call it a starter home plus. So to pay $8,900 a year in property taxes on this house is insane to me. I really wonder what the people who got the $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 houses in this town property taxes are going to be. They're going to get bumped to freaking $16,000, $20,000 a year. It's sick. These local governments are eating, and we got to stay on our toes, man. Never get comfortable.
But you have to also look at things on the flip side. Property taxes fund critical services like our schools, our police departments, our infrastructure, which benefit communities and boost property values. Some will argue that this benefit principle justifies the tax, as homeowners gain from well-maintained neighborhoods. But when assessments are unfair, outpace incomes, or spending feels wasteful, the system feels more like a punishment than a fair trade. So, have you seen what your property taxes were last year than this year? Our property taxes here in Tampa, they're disgusting. Our property taxes from last year to this year have risen $600. Yeah. For the year. I'll talk about our homeowners insurance in another video. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less and God bless. Ciao.